This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a photographer? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing our good neighbor, Jessica Paris with Saga Media Photography. Jessica, now it is great to have you on today. We're so excited to learn all about you and your business. Please start off by telling our listeners just a little bit about your company.
Sure. Well, I own Saga Media Photography here in the DFW area. Mainly, I focus on headshots, corporate headshots, and then personal branding. I will say in the studio, I mostly work with transformative portraits or artistry portraits. So that's mainly the focus for me. And most people ask, well, what's transformative portraits or artistry portraits? In my education, I also have therapy as my background, so a licensed therapist. So I combine therapy and photography together. So I help people heal through photography. So that's where it comes in as transformative. And then artistry, it would be more drawing and kind of making it look like children portraits that are artworks that you would put on the wall.
Great. Now you got into a little bit of telling us about your background. So how did you originally get started in this business?
Well, originally I went to school for my MBA, and during that time, usually when you're going to school, you have to take an elective of some sort. So I ended up taking not photography, but women and gender studies. And I started learning just about individuals on a more social level. And one of the things that I kind of picked up on was the art side of just learning about people, and it made me want to capture that. So usually you can pause the moment with photography. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I just kept going from there.
Now, Jessica, in your industry today, what is the most common myth or misconception you come across?
The most common myth is that I would say headshots is just something you can do really quickly. Most people call me and say, hey, I just need a quick headshot. The truth is that headshots are like a branding tool. It's very strategic. If you think about when you look for a doctor or a therapist or even a realtor, you look at their image first and you see if you can connect with that person. So this is a time for you to influence your first impression. People use your headshot for hiring decisions, and you want to make sure it's the right thing. So I always say headshots are never just quick and easy. It's very strategic when it comes to your brand.
Love that. Now, Jessica, we all know marketing is the heart of every business.
Mhm.
So who are some of your most common clients you get, and how do you attract them?
A lot of my clients are word of mouth. Typically, just how I connect with people, they usually refer. I would say the most would be lawyers or attorneys who need headshots for their team. Typically, they will find me on Google, and I can come into the office and take care of their headshots. It's usually easier for me to come to them than them have individuals book to the studio website. Secondly, would be medical students. A lot of people don't realize that medical students need headshots for their residency application. So they're always calling me last minute, but that's one of the others that I take a lot of headshots for.
Wow. Now, have you ever thought about having your own podcast for the business before?
I have not thought about a podcast. I have thought about just storytelling, maybe just capturing interviews of individuals and the meanings behind their images and just sharing that, but never just a podcast itself.
Well, that is the essence of what a podcast is. Now, switching back to your business, what is the number one takeaway you would like our listeners to gather from learning more about Saga Media Photography?
I would say the biggest takeaway is just remembering what photography was always meant for. That's one of the biggest things, is that I always want to connect with my clients and learn their stories. Most people don't realize that we all carry internal images of who we think we are, how we see ourselves, and those play a lot in how we show up. And I would always say, just remember that photography was always meant to be about presence, remembrance, and you being here. So it's not always about curating the perfect image. It's always about telling your story and capturing it in that moment.
That is a beautiful way to think about it. And finally, where can our listeners go to learn more about Saga Media Photography?
Most of the handles are Shoot with Saga. Website is Shoot with Saga. So that's SHOOTWITHSAGA.com, or also LinkedIn. I am Jessica Paris is what LinkedIn would be, but Saga Media Photography is the name for the company.
Well, Jessica, I really appreciate you being on the show today. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com. Or call 469-221-9345.